Good morning. I'm back out on Folsom. Surprise, surprise. I already screwed up my plan for the day before I even hit the water today. I wanted to go to Rattlesnake today. More specifically, I wanted to go to the powerhouse. And I went to Brown's Ravine. Normally go to the launch ramp where I want to start. Like if I'm gonna go to the North Fork, I'll launch out at Granite Bay. If I want to fish main body or somewhere up the south, I'll launch out at Brown's Ravine. I already screwed that up. Without even thinking about it, I went to Brown's Ravine. And so now I'm out on the main body, and just about a month ago, I was fishing those rocks all the way on the top up there. That is about 50 feet. So right now I'm starting out with a Rapala, I don't know, what is this, a Rapala? It's obviously super shallow, about a foot deep. Super shallow jerkbait. Just seeing if I can get some of those active bass up shallow starting out. And I guess I'm gonna head up towards New York Creek. Maybe make a run up there to the old Salmon Falls Bridge. I usually catch a lot of dinks and maybe a 1 or 2 pounder over here. All right, I got my first one on that jerkbait. It feels pretty decent. Nice, boy. Oh, there he is. He jumped, and I was keeping a tight line on him. Oh, stay away from my seat, boy. Oh yeah, he's a good one. All right, 5 minutes, got my first one on this jerkbait. I'm gonna get my pliers. I don't feel like getting ganked today. You could see my weights from last week. They're all on the bottom there. So I'll put this guy on the top and clear out the rest here in a sec. But first bite, what a way to start the day. Start the morning. 178. Almost a 2 pounder. Boy, 5 minutes after I've been here. That is awesome. Woot woot. Trying my Rapala shad wrap, deep diver, about 8 to 12 feet. We're sitting in 7 feet, so hopefully I should be knocking some rocks with this and getting on the bottom. Well, that was a crappy cast. I hate to admit it, but I'm already using the drop shot. I'm sitting in about 22 feet of water, and off of this point, I caught that first bass just on the other side of that point right there. But all around this, this point right here extends all the way out to those buoys in about 5 feet of water. But on the ledges on the sides of that, in about 18 to 20 feet, there's just stacks of bait fish and stacks of fish feeding on those bait fish. I'm seeing all sorts of activity right here. I'm seeing fish jumping out of the water. I'm not going to say for certain, but I think I saw about a 4 to 5 pound smallmouth jump out of the water for some bait fish. About 50 feet in front of me is where I threw out that shallow water jerkbait, and as soon as it hit the water, I got that hit. I think I just threw it in the right spot at the right time because it's about 20 feet deep right there. That jerkbait only goes about a foot, but there's just way too much. There's just way too much activity right here. And on my graph, I'm seeing the majority of it on the bottom. Yeah, look at that. Those are all fish right there. That's what I keep seeing over here. So I'm gonna give this about another 15 minutes or so. They're only in 17 foot right here. I threw my deep diving crankbait. It goes about 10 to 12 feet. I couldn't get a bite. So I'm trying drop shot right now. This helicopter right here, I don't know, firefighter, Cal Fire. They keep buzzing me, man. I don't know what the I don't know what the deal is, but they keep going right over my boat. That's like their fourth pass over my boat. I don't know if they think I'm stuck or what. Oh, you know what? They might be filling up something with water. I don't know. I didn't see them carrying anything. I don't know how those helicopters pick up water or dump water, but maybe they're grabbing water over there. Oh yeah, look, they dropped a hose. I don't know if you can see that hose right there dangling off that chopper, but that's what they're doing. They're picking up water back there in that cove. Just the dangling. That's cool. There you go. Just dropped some water. I'm on the other side right now. There's some shadows on the bank still. Switched it up to a little G-Finish Zara puppy. Let's see if we can't get one in the shade. Looking for some active fish. Don't feel like drop shotting right now. I will in a little bit when it gets a little bit hotter. But right now I just want to hit the bank, looking for a reaction. Switching it up to the spy bait. Last time I was out, I caught 2 on this. It's a Duo Realis spy bait, baby bass color. They're all suspended at about 10 to 12 feet. So I'm gonna let this sink down to about 10 foot. And then just slowly start to reel it in, maybe twitch it. Like my third cast or so, I just had my first hit on this little spy bait. It was a tiny one, I could tell that. It was a could have been a bluegill, felt like a bluegill, at least about that size. But I don't know. I've been tossing my crankbait and my jerkbait around here, zooming past this, and I haven't gotten one single bite. And then my second or third cast with the spy bait, I did get a little baby hit. I keep seeing tons of bait fish underwater, just schools and schools of them. This is a war eagle. You can see the ball of bait fish there at about 10 feet. So I'm going to try spooning. You can actually see my bait going down right now. All right, check that out. Those jaggedy lines in the middle, that's my spoon. You can see it looks like some other fish coming from the bottom to my spoon. I haven't got any hits yet, but it looks like they're coming up to it. And right now my spoon is sitting in, going from 20 to 25 feet. And there's fish around it. I don't know if they came up to look at it, but right now there's fish around it. So I'll spoon for about another 5 to 10 minutes until my arm feels like it's about to fall off. Then I'll move on, I guess. Nothing yet. Okay, I've completely lost interest in spooning. It's been about 5 minutes. I just can't take it anymore. I'm bored. Oh, shit. Of course, right when I say that, I had a little hit. Damn. Oh, I think I got him. I might have him. Nope. Never mind. My spoon went sideways. You pull up on it, and sometimes that hook gets caught on your line, and it pull it up, and all of a sudden it feels like it's fighting. Well, it's turned into one of those days. Another boater needed some help out here, so I'm towing him in, which is probably going to end my day. We're pretty far from where he launched, and it's going to take a bit. So I'm guessing it's going to be probably about an hour and a half or so before we get him back to the launch ramp, doing 2.5 miles an hour. So more than likely that's going to end my day. I got a handful of hits, maybe 5 or 6 hits. One fish, 1.78 pounds, not bad. Pretty good size, but I had a handful of other bites coming off I had a handful of other bites from about like little 5-6 inch bass and maybe a couple bluegill or two. So I don't know, maybe I'll fish around the launch ramp where he launched from. Maybe I'll try over there for a little bit, but more than likely this is going to end my day. So it is what it is, and there's always another week. At least I'm building up a little bit of karma getting him back to the ramp, so maybe that'll work out for me next week. I just dropped off Joe. He's over there at the dock behind me. Took a little over an hour to get here. I've only got about a half an hour left. I don't know what else to do. I'm at Folsom Point right now, so I think I'm just gonna go hit the peninsula, maybe drop shot for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and see if I can't pull one out of 20-30 feet over there. Other than that, you know, I'm kind of out of time and got some stuff to do with the kiddo today, so you know, it is what it is. I got to help someone, and you know, I've got next week, so you know, good thing is we got him back and didn't break anything else, so it's good news. There we go. Boy, this guy's been on there for a while. I couldn't feel him. What the heck? Wow, I didn't even feel him. He wasn't moving or anything. So weird. I just hope he didn't belly hook it. I got him in 35 feet. Didn't feel him hit. Nothing. It was just a little bit of weight. Who knows how long he was. I mean, I think he was on for maybe a couple of minutes. Nothing big, but 35 feet deep. I'm going to get him back in so I don't have to pop him. All right, well, at least I got 2 fish for the day. I just hooked up with another one. Okay, maybe this is another one in 35 feet. Maybe I'm going to be out here for a little bit longer. This one I actually felt bite. He's not big or anything, but he's getting bigger as he comes up. Oh, shoot, he jumped back there by the motor. He's not big. I don't even know if he's a keeper, but boy, I found him. 35 feet deep, boy. He's a fighter. Look at him go. Cool. Well, I'm just happy that's 3. Oh yeah, he's a keeper. Cool. How the heck did that happen? Oh, smallmouth. I haven't cleared out my scale yet, but it doesn't matter. Okay, this one right here weighs 125. Pound and a quarter on the dot. Wow, that's 2 in about 5 minutes of pulling up into 35 feet. Thanks, buddy. Got another one. Little guy. Again, this guy was in about 25 foot, so a little bit shallower. But again, didn't even feel him hit. Just a little bit of weight, and I set the hook, and he was on there. All right, I'm getting it back nice and chunky. Those little birds right there, those little gray and white things, I don't know what those things are. They're not seagulls, but those guys right there are good bass indicators out here at Folsom. Wherever those things are, there's schools of minnows or schools of bait fish, and I always seem to get bass around those things. I don't know what you call them, but he's been circling around me now for about the whole time I've here for about 20 minutes, and I'm like sitting on all the bait fish, so he keeps circling around me. But whenever I see those little birds out here at Folsom, I always tend to stop and fish wherever those things are at, because those things are always Always around bait fish. Okay, my day is done. I think the boating karma gods stepped in today and helped me out. I gave someone a tow back to Folsom Point today. Almost to, I don't know, New York Cove area. Just around that main bend right before you come into New York Cove. And it took me total time about an hour and a half. And when you're only fishing for about 4 hours, that's a good chunk of your day. My day started off great. You know, within 5 minutes, I hooked up with almost a 2-pound spot on a jerkbait. And about 10 minutes later, I missed another good fish on that jerkbait. I thought it was going to be a great day, a great reaction day. And then it died after that. I got a few hits on a spy bait. I got a couple of hits on a swim bait. And they were just little guys, 5-6 inches. I actually seen them right at the boat. They were tiny. They were barely bigger than my bait. So I got a few hits from some little guys. Went to my third spot, or I was going to my third spot, and this guy flagged me down, asked me for a ride, or asked me for a tow back to the Folsom Point launch ramp. And you know, I'm not going to leave him stranded out there, so I spent about an hour and a half total getting him back to the ramp. And I had about a half an hour left to fish, and I said screw it, just went up to the peninsula, started in 30 foot, got my first fish in about 5 minutes, got a second fish about 2 minutes later, got another fish about 5 minutes after that. It was time for me to come in. I got to help my boy with some stuff today. We got to run some errands. Had to call it a day. For about an hour and a half there, I went without a bite. And I don't know, you know, maybe the positivity, the boating karma gods stepped in and said, you know what, you help someone, we're gonna give you a few fish. And bam, 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 3 in a row within 15 minutes. And they were all on drop shot, all in the Prism Shad color, all between 25 and 35 feet of water out on the peninsula. So next week, I think I'm gonna just start deep, you know, 35, 40 feet, 20 to 40 feet next week. I'm gonna run around on the peninsula. There's island tops all over. I seen bait all over. There's birds out there feeding on the bait. There's carp jumping all over the place, feeding on stuff on the surface. You know, there's other fish jumping up. So I think next week I'm just gonna go deep. You know, I'm gonna rig up some Carolina rigs, some drop shots, a jig, a Texas rig, and I think I'm just gonna go deep next week. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you out here next week.